Hello and welcome to the Talkcast Podshow, the #1 show on the internet and your Final Fantasy. I'm Lanny Pator, joined this week by two very special guests. We're going around the world today. Let's start with the man from Ontario, Canada, the lead writer of FF7, Machinabridged, and all-around great guy, Ant. How you doing, man?
Oh man, life could be better, but I guess everyone's kind of feeling that right now. But I
Feeling that home
complain.
life?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been working, from home for like years and years and all that,
Yeah.
so it's totally fine. Just, I miss, physical contact with people and the gym, so,
Yeah, man, I totally feel you on that one. I'm really glad I got my home gym built up here before all this started. But we are also joined by our friend from across the pond, from the United Kingdom, editor extraordinaire and ponderer of all things Dragon Ball, Masako X. How you doing, man?
Hey man, yeah, I'm doing alright, thanks. Yeah, just been doing a spot of DIY with the missus and varnishing doors, opening doors, but then also keeping social distancing. But otherwise, we're doing alright. A mixed bag, as it would say.
Yeah, it's a very weird time still. I mean, it's a double-edged sword because, I mean, since we're doing the podcast from afar, it means we can actually have you guys on without there being any real issue with it, but it sucks that this had to happen in order to make that happen.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but I don't want to say this is a blessing in disguise, because, I mean, blessings tend to be good, but, we're doing what we can with what we got in the best of a situation like this,
Absolutely.
Taking those lemons, making the lemonade out of them. I mean, you gotta find the good in every situation is the way I try to look at things. Like, I'm trying to use this time where I'm stuck at home as a time to try to better myself and make things a bit better for when everything starts rolling back to normal,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, no, but basically we're breaking out the slow cooker, getting some good recipes down there. We made some like boba tea, which is like kind of this South African weird dish which has like mince and like scrambled egg and like apricots. It's really weird. It's like, but it's making use of slow cooker, and we've been really experimenting with all that kind of stuff. Like,
now tell me, have you or every other friend of yours been on the sourdough bread making train? Because
Unfortunately,
literally, almost every single person that I know is making sourdough bread, and like my aunt lives next door, and she works as a nurse in a children's hospital, but she makes sourdough bread almost all the time. So like she hands it out to like me and like some other family members as well. So it blows my mind. It's so good, and it's kind of ironic because the idea there was a whole article about it of why everyone was making sourdough breads is mostly because,
I mean, first of all, it's fucking good.
Yes, 100%. But like the reason that seems to be the case right now is that bread is almost like completely gone everywhere, and there's just something ironic about, because of a virus, we're now making something with yeast as a means of like, we're kind of back to basics of like, all right, it's impossible to kind of, well, not impossible, but like to go out and eat. You can still order in, but not a lot of people want to do that. So going to the grocery store like once every 2 weeks, like you have to make those trips, and maybe sometimes you forget something. So you just gotta you gotta experiment with what you have.
It's very much like a regional thing where around where I live, like the grocery stores around here, you can't find a loaf of bread to save your life. But I've said that on stream before, and someone's been like, well, there's bread here. Yeah, there's bread here too. So apparently it's just like some parts of the world where just some people are just like buying every fucking baked good they can.
Yeah, no.
So
the bread here has been absolutely fine. In fact, the artisan breads are still fine with us, but basically we're having like olive bloomers, like really nice olive bread, so that's really good. But we've not been making the sourdough per se, but Philly, my wife, she's been making loads of banana bread. Like,
oh yeah,
but we don't have a bread. We don't have a bread tin, so we've been using muffin tins. So it's just
banana bread muffins.
Banana bread muffins.
Hell yeah,
that
dude.
sounds heavy and delicious.
They're surprisingly light, actually. We just use the bananas that we don't eat in the week, and it's like, okay. And so we were like doing DIY stuff. It was like really early, so I was just getting on with like sanding down the door, and she just like was like, yeah, open wide, and just stuck a muffin in my mouth. It was just like, okay, I guess we're method acting then. Okay.
That's a good way to start the day.
There you go. Oh man, yeah, I've been getting a lot of cooking into. Like I have been cooking. I have not eaten out or ordered out. Actually, no, I ordered pizza once, but like since this started, I've just been doing nothing but cooking. And goddamn, like,
Oh yeah.
I like to think I'm a pretty good cook. So
I've been seeing some of the stuff you've been posting. It's been looking good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I usually cook every day because, again, Philly's like a teacher, so therefore she's a key worker. And by the way, shout out to all the key workers and essential workers out there who are doing an absolutely fantastic service. If you are working right now, then we hope that we can provide some kind of a break for you while you're doing all your diligent hard work and keeping everything afloat. Thank you very much. I thought I'd just say that.
Toss a coin to your worker.
Hell yeah.
reference from Christmas, yes. But yeah, so but no, I usually cook every day. And so sometimes it's been like a nice mix where you like kind of work together and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, one of my favorite recipes lately is like this kind of like taking some salmon fillets, some tinned tomatoes, some chorizo, and like cannellini beans, like mix them all together. It's like a really nice medley. Toss some broccoli on the side. Nice light meal, but it's like really satisfying, especially if you can get some good chorizo.
Oh my god. Yeah,
your
that
pronunciation
sounds delicious.
of your regional pronunciation of chorizo amuses me, by the way.
Is what I do.
Hey, Frenchie, say chowder.
Chowder.
So, gentlemen, it has finally happened.
Oh my god.
It's finally happened. The myth, the long-held gaming joke, longer than Duke Nukem Forever, I think. Because I think this was teased back as far as, like, 2006? Like, when they announced the PS3 or something?
Well, I mean, I think it was just like a graphic. Back then, it was just a graphical test of, like, this is what we can do, and then, like, just nothing else. And then, like, 2015, I think, is when they actually said the rumors of. So, like, it's been 5 years since this game was, like, announced and teased in any sort of capacity. But, man, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I am astounded with how well this is, like, Final Fantasy VII, the remake, has turned out. I was worried for a long while, especially when they announced that it was going to be like an action combat along the vein of like Kingdom Hearts and FF15, but I think it came out like just wonderfully.
Yeah,
I have been engrossed in this game.
I was very concerned initially when they were saying they would redoing it from scratch. I was thinking, uh-oh. But then ultimately, that turned out to be for the best, because what we got now, from what I've seen, because I haven't had a chance to get my hands on the game, but from what I've seen, it looks really full of depth.
Yes, very much so. Like there is a lot to this game, and while like you're obviously it's a shame that they're doing this in chapters, which funny enough seem to be paralleling the Machinabridged season structure.
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, at the end of the day, that what they did and what they chose to do with this makes the game and the story way better.
Like they're giving more depth to a lot of the characters that you are, and a lot of the moments that you didn't really have time to put much stock into in the first your first playthrough of the game, because so much happens in that whole game. Like it's crazy. Also, Jessie, that girl has been spending years in the desert because she is fucking parched. Holy shit.
Everyone is horny for Cloud. Like, everyone. It doesn't... It
feels like that, doesn't it?
Fantasy, in a way.
It's like they're turning Final Fantasy VII into a
like a harem?
A harem anime, yeah.
Oh god, my god. I don't even...
man.
But here's one thing that I like. It's so interesting, because, like... back when I played the original Final Fantasy VII, the story and like the characters didn't stick out as hard in terms of like a personality. It wasn't only until I started working on Machinabridged that I like started researching more and doing more and like, okay, so this person's kind of like this person's kind of like that. In this game, I had no idea how much of a dick Cloud is. Like, Cloud is a douchebag in this whole thing.
He feels like Squall.
See now, I can't...
Less emo, but his responses are very nonchalant and brush everything off.
Yeah, he's like, can you do this? How much? What? No, man. Like, just you say yes or no. Don't be like, I want this money. Like, but I guess like in the way like he's
how much
he's a
can you
mercenary.
children? How much can you children pay me to get that frog out of your fort?
We don't have money. We ate bread last week. I'll take a slice of that then. Like he's just
I want half that bread.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's just such an asshole to like everyone, but then like he starts to warm up with people and all that. Tifa, how they showed Tifa like is way better. Like you can clearly see like she's been through some shit. But speaking of people who've been through shit, Elmira, Aerith's mom, she says one line.
Yeah.
She says one line in this whole thing, and I was like, fuck. This could literally apply to every single person ever who has ever been in like any type of like situation where your life has changed. It's just, oh my god, every single thing about this game. But the fact that like I'm like almost 40 hours in, and I'm about like 70% through the game. But
yikes.
But like Jesus Christ, like in the original, it's like you beat Midgar in 3 hours. No, in this, it's like 50 hours.
They padded this out. There are a lot of supplementary things that Nomura has added in here. Some a bit more Nomura than others. Looking at you, Ghosts.
Yeah, those were, I was like, someone went through a hot topic once or twice.
I mean, come on, this is Final Fantasy. They're basically Hot Topic style the game. They dress in belts and leather.
Oh my god, that's very true. Speaking of leather, the Honeybee Inn scene, I remember when the remake was coming out, everyone on Twitter was like, oh my god, like they're gonna do like a Cloud in the dress, oh it's gonna be offensive, da da da. No, they did it beautifully.
It's beautiful, it's wonderful. I streamed, because I've been streaming nothing but this game since it came out. I got through that part yesterday because I needed to make sure I at least made it through Thunderhead before we got to this podcast, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And the Honeybee Inn scene, I don't want to spoil anything about like what happens, the mechanics during it, but it is easily one of my favorite gaming moments of the year and therefore the decade right now. It is beautiful.
God. Who have you been maining as your party leader?
Tifa
Okay,
all day. She is so fun to play as.
Oh my god, like so I agree 100%. Like a lot of her abilities are like really fun to use, especially when you put like an element linked in with like the materia.
I have her with like a lightning fist, so she's like going in all Sea Viper and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So like when you're fighting the robots, like it's just bang bang bang, dunzo. I was using Cloud for the main time for like the longest time, but then there's a moment with Barrett. I was like, holy shit, he is so much fun to play as, and since then I've just been using him, and because like I don't want to have to keep going in and then dying and then having someone revive me and use up a Phoenix down when I could just like be back and like just have my two AIs go at it, and then if their ATB gauge is like full enough, I'll just have them do like an ability or a spell or anything like that. So like being able to find that type of play style that you enjoy is really helps. So like,
yeah,
you know how in Kingdom Hearts
and it's very it's very situational too, because you can find yourself in that situation where, okay, these guys give like a lot of upfront pressure. Maybe I should switch to Aerith right now so I can focus on keeping things alive and dealing a little bit of damage from afar.
Yeah, like, and in a way, I feel like that. I don't want to say they got it right. I think this might be the best battle system in any Final Fantasy game.
At least in the modern era, because I mean, there's there's just some sort of there's a level of charm to the turn-based combat of the old games, but I'm really glad they didn't try to match that. And I do think I highly agree. I think that this plays better than Kingdom Hearts. I think it plays better than 15. In fact, I think it plays like a blend of the two, but in like the best way. And then the addition of the ATB gauge, where you can like slow down for a second to use one of your skills, or even just like pop it over in the hot menu. It's just or issue commands to your party, just really easy. It's very intuitive once you get used to it, and it's like super. I don't know. I feel very comfortable in that game. Like,
it's like
using
it's
its
Final
style.
Fantasy meets Devil May Cry.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's not, from what I've seen, it's not like a full-on hack and slash. It has elements of that, and I'm glad that they've adapted it, because to be honest, if you went back to 1997 mechanics, I mean, Final Fantasy VII, yeah, that's synonymous with that, but anyone who was coming into it for the first time, the whole, truncated, like, you do an attack, you wait, then do another one. It doesn't really work with all of the technology and all of the limits that you don't have anymore. Yeah, it's like, it's good to bring it forward, yet also keep it the same. So it's like an evolution, the fact that ATB is still around. It just in a different guise.
Yeah. Yeah, because the mechanics in this game, and there are a lot of mechanics, not just the battle mechanics that have changed. There are a lot of mini games in this that I was kind of surprised to find.
Yeah, I mean, we saw like the squatting and like the pull-ups like mini. I hate those. I hate those mini games.
The rhythmic.
I hate it. I hate it so much. To me, it's not worth it. Like once I was done, I was like, okay, good. I don't ever want to have to do any of these ever again. I will go out of my way to like travel back and forth through wherever. Which also, by the way, one thing that if you're big into like Skyrim or any like games like that, they make that happen. They add that in of like you can go from like Sector 5 all the way to like Sector 6 or Wall Market all the way to Aerith's house. Like you can run in between. Like there's fast travel eventually, but it's just
that's good to know.
Oh my god, like it's just huge. They make it's so funny how in the original Midgar almost seems like really small. But with this, they expand it. And now I'm like, how big is this world? How big is this universe?
This came out perfectly. Yeah. This came out perfectly for the swan song of the PS4. We don't have Last of Us Part 2. We have Final Fantasy VII Remake to like say, PS4, you did really well. Let's just see what you can do one last time. Like, really give it a good old, college farewell.
Yeah, it is definitely a, I mean, we also got, I mean, it's not, I wouldn't necessarily call it like a PS4 game, quote unquote, as this is at least a year exclusive. But we have Cyberpunk coming out in the fall, so there's a few more stuff coming out here for the PS4. But as far as quote-unquote exclusives go, yes, this is definitely a fond farewell to a system that has honestly done way better than I thought it was going to do. The PS4 has had a fantastic library. And, let's see, going through here, I need to ask before we go into any sort of like minor spoilers. There's a couple things here. Best girl. Who's your best girl in this game right now, Ant? Because the way they've written these characters has come across way more charming than I remember them in the PS1.
Man, it's Jesus Christ. Aerith says a cuss. That's
she
all
does.
I'm gonna say. I was like, wait, what? Hold on,
But she's so pure.
You're not allowed, young lady. Like, oh my God, no. It's really. Damn, it's real hard to actually like pick like a best because like Jesse's nice, Jesse's fun. Like in the original, you're like, oh wow, like you start to see like, and what's really cool is you see like the backstory of everyone else in Avalanche. I was like, oh, you're more than just an eco-terrorist. You're this. Oh shit, you have these dreams. Oh my God, you're like, wow. But oh my God, like Tifa's nice, but there's just something about Aerith. in the original game, I was like, oh, well, okay, she's supposed to be the pure good girl, but like this, like it solidifies that, wow, she is like just a cinnamon bun sweetheart who is like just trying to look at the best things in life, and even during like the hardest times, I think I might have to give it up to Aerith for this, for like just all around best girl, because like even at the end of the day, when things are like bad, she always tries to like make things better. But yeah, no, I gotta give it to Aerith on this.
She is an absolute cinnamon bun. Did you see the clip of Brianna White, also goes by Rebel Gaming on YouTube and Twitch, her playing the game for the first time and stumbling upon Aerith for the first time?
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw a little. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I know it was on Twitter, but all I did, I scrolled a bit, but I saw like she was looking, and you could see like her hands on her mouth doing a whole like, oh my god, it's me. I was like, damn, that must have felt amazing.
You feel so many things when you see that reaction. Like, you know, a lot of people, they play characters, you know, they then leave that character, but the fact is though, is that moment she remembers, and that you think, yeah, this is somebody who put her heart and soul into this performance. If she
and
reacts
it's like her
that.
first big AAA game character too, like big character. Like this is a huge fandom character.
It's a big old deal, I gotta tell you. But also, oh, you know what? Another contender, Marlene is also just.
Oh, she's so cute.
She's, oh my god, but there are moments where you're just like, you fucking poor soul. You do not deserve to live in this life. Like, you're just, oh my god. And Barrett's such a good dad.
He's an absolute
father.
He is the biggest, he is a teddy grizzly bear. That is what he is.
Literally. He is a papa bear, for real.
His interactions with Marlene are just like the purest goddamn thing. My heart fucking melted. My broveries exploded.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's everything. Like, oh, so just every character, even new characters that kind of showed up. I was like, who the fuck are you? Who the
dude? Fucking Roche.
Yeah, I was like, where are you coming from, mullet cycle? Like, what's your deal, boy?
When he showed up, I rolled my eyes. By the time he left, I'm like, no, come back, be my brother.
Yeah, he was literally, he is, you know what? He is the representation of, like, what the cool guy thinks he is. Like, he's
absolutely, like, he is the 80s idea of excellence, you know?
Oh my god, no, he's the representation of the 90s from the game. You know what he is? He is, like, the physical manifestation of the chase scene. he is just like,
because he shows up during the introduction of that mechanic.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's that representation, and I almost feel like a lot of new characters that kind of show up are supposed to like represent like this mechanic from this game, this character from later on, this part in the game. This is the reason why, and this is the reason how it can help in the future and stuff like that. So like almost every single character that is like new or kind of shows up is insane. And man. So okay, I gotta ask you guys, was also part of your Twitter timeline either I'm loving the game or people saying that they played a bunch of NPCs in it?
I definitely saw people mentioning that they played NPCs. By the way, shout out to Kagi Alejandro, who played Jules in this game.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I out-squatted your ass, Sob. Get on my level.
I think everyone had to. But god damn it. Also, yeah, I hate your minigame, Alejandro.
But yeah, that was very much a good chunk of my timeline. I've seen very little negative opinion of this game, and what negative opinion I found are just people who are not a fan of Nomura-ing things.
Right, yeah. I mean, I have not seen anything about... I actually haven't seen like anything bad that anyone's really said. The only thing that not mechanically, the one thing I think I saw somebody mention was the fact that like, oh, now that the game's out, people are gonna forget about the old game, and I'm like, no, people aren't gonna forget about it. No. Granted, some people might say that the new game is better than the old game because it helps expand and hooks you in better, I'd say, but that's because people who have already played the game previously kind of already understand the story, understand the when they see the changes that they make to the story, they're like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, no, of course, that's how you would do it. Oh, yeah, because, you know, it wouldn't make sense if they just kind of wandered around afterwards and like, oh, we're here now, you know? Like, everything, every point has a reason, and every like little thing of like why they do something and where they go has a reason for that. And I think that adding of new characters and like new events really helps push and really also gives that idea of like character development, because even as you're traveling around during a mission, the two characters will like talk like amongst each other, and like that kind of helps sell more so about like what it is that they're talking about and like how they feel and like the development of those characters. Like, I had no idea Barrett had like a fear of heights. Like, I would never have realized that if I had not played the game. And like, he doesn't really show that as much in like cutscenes, but he mentions it as you're like playing the game and going through, so that way it can help.
Don't look down, Barrett. Don't look down.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's just like, yeah, I'm a badass. Actually, I'm not really a badass, man.
I don't want to die.
Yeah. Also,
just think of Marlene.
John Eric Bentley as Barrett. I love you, Bo, but holy shit, this dude he's Barrett. He's Barrett to me. He's the guy.
He fucking knocked it out of the park. I think the casting in this was like perfect so far that I've seen.
And no, there's one guy, but I won't say.
All right, so you have feelings about a character. Maybe it's one I haven't run into, or one that I just haven't.
No, it's someone early on.
Oh, okay. So I just haven't noticed yet, or I just haven't picked up on what you did.
No, but I'll say one thing about a character. The guy, Sam, he can sell me a truck any day.
Oh yeah.
I was like, is that fucking like? Did they?
Sounds like Sam Elliott.
Yeah, I was like, were they like? All right, what are you gonna do? Oh, I really like this voice. That's like Sam Elliott. Yeah, no, that's fine. Like, Sam Elliott is like an official canonically in the Final Fantasy universe.
May as well, right? I mean, Larry Davis, I'm looking at the cast sheet right now. Fucking, like, the first time I heard him, I'm like, is that Sam Elliott? And now that I'm looking, I'm like, no, that's not Sam Elliott, but damn, he's got a good Sam Elliott voice.
He sure does. Yo, if I don't hear him, yo, I bet that's the dude who's selling, like, cheap
Ford.
Wranglers.
Yeah,
or with some truck.
Live your life.
Yeah, oh my god. Okay, so if that guy doesn't get hired to like sell like chocobo vehicles or whatever, like that's gonna be nuts. But no, oh my god.
Choco Wrangler.
Choco Wrangler? I mean, he technically is a Choco Wrangler, but now it's like an official. Also, one thing I will say about this game, the music is so good.
Oh my god, I love it. I love the fact that they have shops around where you can just buy the remix soundtrack like here and there. Speaking of which, if you want to get the Machinabridged, you can Midgar mix, you can still get that on iTunes and whatnot. But
that's right, and Journey Jams.
Ooh, yeah, and Journey Jams. That's right. We got the second season and third season mix out there too. But yeah, the soundtrack in this is fantastic. Like the remixes that they've done, how they've jazzed up some of it. I love that you can find Kate Sith's mix out there already.
Yeah, I know, right? There's a Cosmo Canyon mix as well. That's it's beautiful. And like the On Your Way, like most of it is all like just like easy listening, like jazz. And there's another one that's the battle theme, but it kind of sounds like a 50s doo-wop, so like the is like in a piano, and I was like, what the shit, this is amazing. So I like tried to look it up to see if like this is actual music on the OST, but I couldn't find anything. But like just those CDs that you can find in the game and then go to jukeboxes and add them on, like all that music is amazing. They got one, oh my god, there's like a dance remix. And I love that so much of like the battles that you have fighting against the monsters aren't all like the dun 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 battle theme. It's like different renditions of like various parts of the music. Like the Turks even have a battle theme, and that's real good. When I heard it, I was like, this is stuck in my head forever now. God damn.
God, they've made so also Rude. Total daddy. Like, holy shit.
Oh my god.
If I had to pick a guy, I'm like, damn.
That dude, I was like, oh my goodness, Keegan-Michael Key, get on that, please.
Right?
Oh my god.
He like the first moment you fight him, I'm like, okay, let's go. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah.
I'm fighting Mantifa. I'm gonna die.
Literally, he is like, and it's okay. I mean, you ain't wrong. He is actually like for real, and I wouldn't be surprised if they add a little bit of like extra bit of something down the line. But speaking of, you mentioned like they're doing it in chapters, so it was like announced and all that. So I'm wondering if like, will it be a brand new game? Will it be like some DLC that you can buy for like a full game price, and then like the game continues on from there?
It's
hard
to say.
download?
I have to imagine that it's going to be a full new game, because if you think about what it opens up to, the entire world of Midgar, or the entire world, it'd be impossible to make that DLC, right? I mean, I know all these games are downloadable anyway, and you have to install them on your machine no matter what, but I feel like this is definitely going to be a whole separate game, and it's probably going to be on PS5.
Oh my god, I hope. I don't want to have to buy a PS5 so I can play Final Fantasy VII.
I mean,
luckily,
PS4 and everything. I'm gonna have to get it out, and it's like, and then another thing. Oh,
luckily,
so
I do bet this is going to come out in that time frame where it's like, yeah, it'll probably be on cross consoles, but where like they release it on PS4 and 5s, because they always have that like overlap of like 3 or 4 years where they keep the old consoles kind of in rotation because they have so many out there.
That's fair. Or you can like wait a year for it to be on Steam.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that though, can you imagine when they move forward from here? Like, I don't think like they can't possibly have like that whole overworld thing that they used to do in Final Fantasy, where you're just a icon walking along the world map. I mean, maybe they can. Maybe they'll surprise us, and then you can like zone into different areas and walk through them.
All I know is that when they announced that it was just going to be Midgar, we all said there's no way that they could stretch this out. I'm pretty sure that they can find a way with this.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think like from there on, like the DLC idea might actually like come into fruition, because like maybe they'll have like the Fort Condor DLC, maybe they'll have a bunch of other stuff that they have to do. Oh god, you have to fight the Zolom as well. Like that'll be, just imagine like how big these monsters are.
Zolom would probably be the first boss, right, of the next game?
Probably like the first big old boss.
Yeah.
And I will say, because we had mentioned the battle system, I died so many times in just regular ass, like just going in and like fighting monsters. Like this is unforgiving, and it's very hard. And like a lot of bosses have depth, and like they're huge. Like the Airbuster, I died so many times, and like we all remember like the Airbuster when you're fighting it on like the Shinra thing before you meet Aerith, and it's just like, oh, it's just a robot, whatever, like, it's fine. No, there's like 3 fucking phases for this monster. Even the Scorpion Guard, it was super difficult.
Yeah, I remember that when playing like the demo, just going through that and getting to the Scorpion boss, like, okay, I can kind of remember how the, okay, oh fuck, missiles, lasers, ah!
Yeah, no, it's oh my god, and that just, but knowing that if you had played the original game and knowing like what the guard scorpion is like, and then playing this and realizing, oh shit, this is the depth and this is like how expansive it's going to be, I am really fucking scared of like every other boss that you have to fight from here on out, because you know that it's going to be intense. And there's like new bosses too that they add in for like these various stories and whatnot that are like, oh my god, they're nuts. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have to play a game, and I'm not a gamer. I don't. The last game that I bought was Kingdom Hearts 3, and that was like a year ago. I don't have any other games other than this, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and ironically enough, most remakes. But just this Final Fantasy VII remake is probably like the best game I have ever played, because like I can't stop. I never want to stop. I never want this experience to end. I want to keep playing it. I want to keep grinding. I want to get to level 99 if that's possible.
I'm sure it is. I mean, like you can grind the where I'm at right now. You can go to the arena and just keep doing fights. I don't know how long that lasts, but apparently max level is 50. I'm getting reports.
Oh, okay. See, now that makes sense, because all right, okay, I can do that. I can do that easy.
Yeah.
But no, like even in the weapon systems and like the ability system as well, it makes it so that even if you have like your first lowest tier weapon, it can be your best weapon still.
Yeah. Because that's something that I really appreciated in this, that very much like Dark Souls, they allow you to upgrade the weapon that you enjoy so that you can keep using that one. And they all have different stats and things that they can do for you. And there's never a weapon that, like, you never buy a weapon, like a new weapon, and then all of a sudden your old weapons are completely defunct and you can never use them again. So you can go through that entire game rocking the Buster Sword after you've unlocked the abilities of the other weapons.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I did. Like whenever I get a new weapon, I'll play with that one until I unlock the ability, and then I'm like, okay, what is it that I need to the situation that's coming up right now? What is it that I need to focus on? Okay, if I'm going to be Barrett, I'm going to be fighting like some monsters and all that. I want to keep my my long range weapons, but if I have a short range weapon, okay, screw it. I'll just put it on and like have to use it until like I get that ability so I can move back to my older weapon. But as you're doing it, you can like upgrade it as well, so like it's, oh my god. And it's funny you mentioned Dark Souls, and I realized, yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake is literally the Dark Souls of Final Fantasy games. It even has a roll mechanic.
To a certain extent, it is, because it took me a while to, I hesitate to say master it, but get used to switching over to Cloud's Punisher mode and countering with his block.
Yeah,
that changed things. That changed things for me when I finally did that. I'm like, okay, now I can fight some of these monsters.
Yeah, exactly. You can go in without being scared.
Because early on, like you were mentioning, some of the bosses are very punishing if you don't understand their mechanics going into them. Eventually, I got to the point where I'm like, okay, because I'm just burning through Phoenix Downs, like one after the other. Okay, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive. And then finally I got to the point where it's like, okay, if I can't do this in 5 Phoenix Downs, I don't deserve to win. So let's go.
Yeah, I've found myself like just scanning almost every monster that I fight, so that way I can realize like, okay, the reason why I'm not doing as much damage is because I need to do this. Once I do that, then I can just fucking lay down. But like, oh my god, just every like small little thing about this game, like even the crabs. Crabs are usually like first tier level of like monster that you fight. Even them, they're really difficult unless you know what you need to do. And sometimes if you don't have that requirement, oh my god, you're screwed.
Yeah, they start blocking and all of a sudden you can't touch them unless you have any ATB up so you can cast magic.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this game, absolutely wonderful. Obviously, a high recommendation from you, I'm guessing, yeah.
Oh my god, yes. And I will say this, if you want to really kind of, like if somebody asks, should I play Final Fantasy, should I play the original before I play the remake? I would say, I don't know if you're going to feel the same thing as like people who have played the original game as like their first ever game. But if you want to kind of understand where they're coming from, play the original game up until Midgar. Once you're done, stop. Then go to the remake, and then you'll see, oh shit, oh damn, oh my god. Because
yeah, just so you can understand the differences.
The depth of certain characters, because because a lot of the stuff back in the PlayStation 1 era, it was very limiting, and you couldn't get those like cinematic shots. You couldn't really feel it unless like the camera is kind of placed, because like all the camera is just static, and so like nothing really moves. You have to rely on reading the text and kind of understanding. It literally is like reading a book, but it's like a pop-up book. But when you actually play the remake, like the camera's moving, there's pans, there's like a lot of like crazy Alfred Hitchcock shit, there's like mise-en-scène, things are like put in place there, put into place here, so like it really is a cinematic experience, so that way what they're saying kind of has depth and has meaning, and then like even the stuff they don't say, you see it in their facial expressions, and you're like, fuck. God damn it, man. If you really want to feel like a story and like that emotional anchor through like almost every single character, then I would say play the original up until Midgar, then go into the remake. But I will warn you, when you play the remake, if you want to just burn through the game, don't do any of the quests. Just go and just go. Or you can just watch a bunch of you can watch the 8-hour long cutscenes and all that on YouTube.
Yeah, the cutscene, like the thing that everybody, like every game has that as soon as it comes out. It's like, oh yeah, here's the movie of the game. Bye.
Yeah, literally, part of me was like, man, imagine if Final Fantasy VII was, no need. Don't make a movie, don't make a series, just play the game. That's your movie, that's your series.
Netflix,
like, it is
buy
useless.
Buy the rights to the cutscenes and stick it on there. Final Fantasy, the remake, the series.
There you go. I did that with watching the cutscenes for when Mortal Kombat 11 came out. I don't give a shit about playing Mortal Kombat 11. I'll watch it on Evo because that shit's hype. But I will watch the cutscenes because it's a movie. That's all I care about. I care about the story of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, NetherRealm actually has like good, like they're the only fighting game company out there that tells a story these days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to me, you know, choosing between the original and this, if I had to choose, they're two completely different games, but I would play this over the original like 9 times out of 10. Unless I'm really feeling like, you know, an old school RPG, because this ticks a lot of boxes for me. It's got a lot of things going, and god damn it, it looks like you're playing Advent Children. Like the graphics, like it's beautiful, and I cannot overstate this. The honeybee scene alone was worth the price of admission.
Yes. Oh my god. I have a friend who, like, she's not like super big into games, but she knows when she saw it, she's like, I really want to play it. And after the honeybee scene, I was like, you need to play this game. It's, oh my god. Like, just, I want to say more, but I don't want to spoil anything. Just know, it's beautiful. And your heart will explode with happiness of like, wow.
And always talk to Chadley after the honeybee scene, because that's when he discovers puberty.
Okay, so for those of you not listening, Chadley, that's a real person. That's a real ass name.
He's your materia boy. Chadley. Yeah. Chad Chadley.
Chad Chadley. Hi there, my name's Chad Chadley, and I don't know what social interaction is.
Hello, would you like to help me in my weird fucking monocle and my shoulder ascot?
I thought that was a parrot for the longest time. I was like, oh, Chadley and his parrot. Wait a minute.
That's it's his pet handkerchief.
His pet handkerchief. Oh my god. No. Chadley's a good boy. He does good
pure
things.
Boy. Pure boy.
Yeah. You know what? But okay. So on the topic of Final Fantasy VII in terms of Chadley and his association in the game, but let's just say I feel like this game kind of came out at the right time of like, wow, fuck mega corporations. You know?
I feel like that's been a message forever.
Yeah, but like now people are like, wait a minute, like it's just, Shinra could literally just be a replacement for any government, kind of.
Yeah.
Here's your oligarchy.
I mean, yeah, in the PS1 era, you just think, oh, look at that, that's cute, talking about corporations, and now we're all kind of just going like, oh.
Well, in the original, the context was mostly just like corporation versus environment, and while that's still there, it's now also corporation versus people.
Yeah, it's taken on a different meaning.
Do the ends justify the means of like, is what we're doing like any worse than what they're doing, or like, and all that, and they weigh that? Okay, I will say this. There's one point in the game where I was like, are you fucking for real? I don't know if this is a spoiler, but it's something that happens, so...
All right, potential spoilers. People have been warned.
Spoiler. All right, so... Shinra... Has this been addressed in the original game? Shinra owns the news?
It has to have, right? Because they are essentially the government. They are the economy.
Right. Shinra has its own Shinra News Network, and you actually see an anchor sitting there with the same fucking background as the news guy that we had in Machinabridged.
Oh my god.
I saw that, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
We called it the Shinra News Network, pretty much. It was SNN.
I saw it.
I'm waiting for them to drop news about the Shintranet.
Oh my God! They also mentioned something of Bahamut. I was like, I don't want to believe we had anything to do with this. I don't want my name anywhere in this. But holy shit!
If this wasn't like a Peggy 12 game, I would want to hear Barrett say, "Don't fuck up."
Yeah, I mean, everyone says shit a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's become like a super PG-13 swear word these days.
It really has. I mean, there was a close moment where Barrett's like, "Mother," and I was like, you almost said it, but no. Yeah, fucking, when I saw that Shinra News Network, I was like, holy shit, you can't no way. That's so good, but also not so good, because like it kind of shows. Also, I'm gonna point this out there. John DiMaggio is in the game as well, and this is the second time he has played a character that looks down on a certain type of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the first being Waka, and now Heidegger.
Heidegger's much more of an asshole than Waka, at least.
Yeah, that's at least Waka's like, oh, maybe all our bet ain't that bad, brother. Maybe, I don't know. But Heidegger's like, no, fuck poor people. Literally, I want Rage Against the Machine in this game to just show up. I want Zach De La Roche to just, well, actually, there are a couple NPCs that look like Zach De La Roche, but I want him to just fucking kick in and just like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah, the big difference being like Waka was ignorant, Heidegger's just an asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic. But speaking of FF7 Machinabridged, seems we got one more special coming up for that bad boy.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's coming up. We kept making the joke of watch. This is gonna end before the game comes out, and damn it, we weren't.
Not quite. Not quite.
They almost.
Not quite a photo finish, but man, it was close. We got through.
It was close.
We got through several seasons and almost a movie.
Yeah, which is actually what's gonna be coming up. The final episode will be a movie. I'm in the process of writing it. It's about 75% done for a first draft, and then I'm gonna go and sit through it and then complete it. But man, I gotta tell you, after playing this game and kind of understanding and learning more and more about these characters, holy shit, this is like there's just so much extra depth that they added into the characters in this game that I hadn't even thought about for like writing. So I feel like this is kind of like in a way gonna help out with that for a little bit. But goddamn, if not, man. And thank you everyone who's been enjoying the series. It's been a blast to make it with both of you and Cliff, Stefan, Scott, Nat, who's now our sound designer mixer. It's been, oh my God, it's been a wild ride, I gotta say.
Well, yeah, the thing is that when I took on this role, because like Taka was originally the first showrunner, of it, and he was like, "Hey, Moscow, yeah, you want to like do this thing? Yeah, you want to do the editor on that? I think it'd be good." And it's like, I've never played a Final Fantasy game before. The only reason was because, growing up, didn't have a PS1. My brother had a PS2, and that was on strict off limits for me. Except playing Tenkaichi 2. That was the only one I could play. Maybe Snake Eater 3 if he was in a good mood. But Final Fantasy, that was kind of not my thing growing up. So basically, when Taka gave me the role, I was like, I'm going to be editing something I have no idea about. So throughout this entire thing, I've dabbled in Final Fantasy VII with editing and stuff like that and capturing for the first season. But I've been learning the story as I've been editing the show. So like, with episode 29, when, you're basically in Cloud's mental space, you think, I was going, oh shit, wow, this is deep. I was both weirded out. So actually, I think that kind of helped me in terms of trying to convey the surreal situation going on. So in a way, my ignorance relatively to the Final Fantasy thing has actually kind of helped me in, showing the story in a fresh light. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing a lot of people were saying like they've never played the game before, and like Machinabridged was kind of like their first forte to the game, which you don't need to watch the series now. Just play Final Fantasy Remake and everything will be much better. But
you don't need to watch the first season. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Well, play the remake, then start at season 2, and everything will make sense.
There you go. Everything will be beauty. But yeah, no. This so ironically enough, Final Fantasy VII was not my first Final Fantasy, but it was the first one that got me into it, because the first one I got was Final Fantasy IX. And
nice.
my friend got it for me for my birthday. He was like, "Hey man, I thought like you'd enjoy this game. It's like it's kind of cool and stuff like that." Cool. What is it? Final Fantasy IX. Cool. What's it about? I don't know.
Wizards,
like, okay.
a monkey boy, and really...
Literally, yeah, he was just like, I mean, there's like wizards and like knights, and I just thought that'd be kind of cool. I'm like, all right, cool. I played it. I fucking hated it.
Oh, really?
That was my first time ever playing like a RPG or JRPG or anything like that. So I was like, I don't get it. So I just I gave it to my cousin, and then like a couple years later, I went to my friend's place in his house in Cottage Country, and he had Final Fantasy VII and Kingdom Hearts. So, and he was showing me Kingdom Hearts because I had seen like commercials and stuff like that, being like Disney and what the fuck is this like Japanese anime shit? Mm-hmm. And then he showed me Final Fantasy VII, and I was like, wait, is that like the Kingdom Hearts stuff? And he's like, yeah, this is what Final Fantasy is. And then he showed me like the bombing mission. He showed me a bunch of all this other stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this looks really cool. And I didn't have Final Fantasy VII on my own. So I was like, holy shit, I need to try and play these games. I get it now. I understand what it's about. So I talked to my cousin again, and I was like, hey man, are you still playing 9? He's like, nah, not really. I was like, cool, can I have it back? Sure. And so I just started playing that. And then when I was playing 9, I was like, man, 9's cool, but I really want to play 7. Or no, 9's cool, but then I played Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I need more. So I played Final Fantasy VII, and then once that was done, I played 9, then I got 8, big mistake, then I got 10, and I loved 10. 10 was like aesthetically one of my favorites, because like everything was like islands and like Caribbean influences, and I was like, Jesus, this is amazing. And so like hearing about Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out, I was like, that's awesome. And then I kind of just stopped really caring, because 11 became like an RPG online thing, which I was not really big into. So
yeah, I lost really a lot of my life to that one.
Yeah, I could imagine a lot of people did as well. And then 14 came out. I know you guys are huge on that.
I played 14. I got a guild over there, Gakuen Academy.
Hell yeah, yeah. And then you know, fast forward to now, because I remember Kurt was talking to me about, it's like, hey man, I know you want to do more stuff with TFS, and we're doing like the Final Fantasy Machinabridged, and would you like to be the co-writer with me on that for season 1? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'm down. And I remember me and Kurt would like sit down, we'd script. Back then, the original cast was Kurt was Cloud and Stamper was Barrett because of
pointy bits. Yep.
Yeah, because of pointy bits. And I remember Kurt's whole thing was like, well, no one really has like a voice for Barrett like yet, and like Stamper's is like, well, actually no, that was a lie. There was like Bo Billingsley from like Advent Children. So, and I don't know, like he just wanted to do like a parody thing of that. And then eventually Stamper was super hard to get a hold of, and when we were doing the script readings, I would play Barrett and I would just do like a Stamper impression. And then at that point I was like, you know what, if Stamper's not going to like be able to like get a hold of, and he's super busy with a bunch of other stuff, I might as well just play Barrett. And Kurt was like, yeah, okay, sure. And then eventually we cast Justin Briner as Cloud, and he killed it. He knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And then, you know, Sarah Ann Williams was still slated to play Tifa, because I think the story was Kurt was auditioning her, and then she was saying some lines, and then during the audition, she said, hey, can you hold on for a second? And then she just yells, God damn it, Bosco! And then she just starts yelling at him, and he was like, holy shit, that's Tifa. She's just Sweet D from Always Sunny. That's it. Which actually is like another thing, because like a lot of it was based off of a lot of different comedies that were coming out during that time, of like Always Sunny, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, stuff like that, where it's just like character development of like, this character's this character's that, this character is interacting with this character, how would they interact? If all these characters lived in a house, how would they react during these types of situations, kind of deal.
Yeah. It's funny, like I remember his reasoning behind wanting a different Barrett voice, because he just didn't want him to sound like the big gruff dude, you know? like
Yeah.
how you'd assume he'd be portrayed. He wanted that smooth talking. He wanted somebody that like spoke relatively smoothly, poetically almost.
Right.
And I think it worked out very well for the interpretation of Barrett that we have going for the series.
Yeah, I think like
you've been doing an amazing job, Ant.
I think.
Oh, thank you, baby.
I think
Hell yeah.
deep down in the files somewhere there is a version of with some stamper lines that we have as Barrett. So if I can find that, maybe we can like just show like an alternative reality version of what we had.
Yeah. There was, because I swear in like 2014 there was a proof of concept video that was made that had Stamper as
Yeah, because
Barrett.
it was like
and
it was the bit where it was the
with the guard scorpion, right?
no, around that time. Yeah, it was like around the bit where they're just about to lay down the bomb. So
Yeah. The don't fuck up, baby.
yeah. So it was around that time, and then it was just like it was probably like the first 2-3 minutes of it. So that does exist somewhere.
And I think it was also at that point where everybody was like, where everybody was talking that Taka just didn't quite fit that Cloud role, and that his voice fit way better for Reno. I think was the point there, which is when we decided to go out and audition a few people. I remember we auditioned Howard and Briner, and Briner ended up just knocking it out of the damn park.
Oh yeah, every time I hear Justin's voice for Cloud, it's just like, there's my boy.
It fits.
Yeah, there's Deku.
Yup.
Deku before
It was
Deku.
oh my god. Right, yeah, no, it was kind of funny when we were like, okay, season 1's done. I've been cast as the main character in the biggest fucking anime ever right now. Oh well, shit. That's pretty dope.
So we're very lucky to keep him. So it's like, to have him in there, and you just hear Deku, and it's just like, it just fits bizarrely.
Especially in season 2, where he's talking about, my hero, Sephiroth. Like, oh boy, there's two very parallel, those are two different people.
Yeah, nobody go out there and take My Hero clips and then just add FF7 Machinabridged lines under Deku's face there.
Oh my god. Yeah. But speaking, since we're talking like various cast members, Mike Varker, plays a fantastic Sephiroth. For all of you who are unaware, who don't watch the blooper specials, which you should because they're pretty funny, Sephiroth is Australian. So whenever like bloopers happen, Mike will just straight up be like, "Oh, sorry, them. Just trying to do something else." So I'm like, "Holy shit! It's weird that Sephiroth is Australian, but that's kind of cool,
right?" Yeah. No, it's just always really weird whenever I edit the blooper special, and it's just like, "Oh, don't mind me, pardon me." Right. It's like it goes from the smooth thing. It's like, oh bloody hell, it's a bit noisy in here, and it's like, wow, okay.
I swear there wasn't a fucking train that just passed by.
Yeah, it probably
and I was like,
did.
yes. Ah, fuck.
Yeah. But the one thing
Koalas, kangaroos, Vegemite, veggie juice, Aussie rock.
The one thing, the legendary thing we got from the blooper special is the 3-minute purple eyes, the doorman. That's such an innocuous character. That trope got into a Bridgemon the movie. The fact is, though, so many ways to get the one small line wrong, but so right at the same time.
I know, and I'm so glad that I was able to bring him back for the season finale of season 4, because he's a dad now.
Yeah.
He's got a for real life actual big old adult job.
And like just before that baby was born, we had like another like Digimon parody from him, and it was like that was like a swan song. It's like,
I can't wait for his child to be old enough to go on the internet and just be like, "Daddy, what's a soup store?
What's a nun piece?"
Oh, damn. Ah, shit.
It's where you buy your clothes.
Why would you buy clothes at the soup store? Fuck you! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was a...
Sorry,
oh,
just
man.
deep down reaction there. Yeah. Don't swear, kid. Don't swear.
Yeah. Don't tell your mother. Please.
Fucking love Perps.
Yeah.
He's also a Nick. So there you
I know.
go.
You know, it's It's a kinship that we have.
Yeah, there you look at that classroom situation.
Yeah, where you sit next to each other, you partner up, and then hope that he spells Nick differently than you.
You're both Nick L when you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so you're both Nickel.
Nickel. Man, yeah, we'd be sitting right next to each other in an alphabetical classroom.
More or less, yeah. Oh, but shit. Oh, man. No, Machinabridged has been, it's been fucking crazy. The fact that I remember, too, when we finished it, or not finished it, when we finished season 1, I was like, wow, we did it, guys. 3 more to go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And, yeah.
I edited that first season on a really tired iMac, and it was like torture.
I remember.
It was torture. But then
During that time, too,
Yeah.
you had to capture the footage in the actual
PC,
game.
on Steam, on another computer.
Yeah.
That was just awful.
Jesus.
Oh, nightmare mode.
The work.
I didn't know it was on another computer. Holy
'cause
shit.
there was, on Mac. It didn't have. Mac don't have Steam, or at
Oh,
least
that's
I didn't.
Mac
I
don't
couldn't
have
get-
games.
Yeah, so I had to I had to buy a PC, like a basic PC,
Fuck.
to like play Final Fantasy, capture it, transfer it over to the other computer, and then like do it all from there. So it was like you were, hey, you kind of did this thing wrong. Could you like just go back and do it again? So now you know why it was like, oh.
Yeah,
Now
well,
you
I'm
know.
glad that I'm capturing the footage now. Holy shit.
Well, then it's just like it just saves you go like, hey, you forgot to do that, bud. It's like, oh.
No.
Why does Cloud need to be looking at the camera? Because it needs to sell the idea that things are happening like this, so that way we can actually get the...
Damn your ideas.
Shut
I
the
wanna
fuck up,
sleep.
man. Exactly. Oh my god. But, okay, so, favorite... Okay, I'm gonna be self-indulgent with y'all.
Okay.
Favorite moments in Machinabridged. And audience as well, type in your favorite moments.
Yeah, in the comments below or in the chat if you're here live, which, by the way, if you're listening to this on YouTube or in the podcast, we stream these Talkcasts live every Wednesday over on twitch.tv/stream4star, 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Central Time. So yeah,
Yeah, and
favorite-
if you just so happen to also be listening to this on iTunes or iHeartRadio or Google or any of those other podcasting sites and you're driving, just scream out your favorite part right now.
Yell it at the driver next to you or at the person who's sleeping. My favorite moment, it has to be the Thunderhead episode. This, like, just getting him all decked out in the Thunderhead gear.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
drugs,
Yeah.
please.
Oh,
My man.
My man. I love, okay, so I'm just gonna say this. The drugstore owner, they captured him. They captured exactly like, hey man, how's it going?
Yeah, where he's just
was like,
lounging
yes!
in the remake.
He's so, oh god, he looks like such a fucking dude. Like, he goes up like, hey man, you want any? Okay, I'm gonna say this, Wall Market, everyone's on drugs. It's literally,
Absolutely.
it's Midgar Vegas. And it's so good.
Oh.
It's a perfect area.
I probably have to say that one of mine that I remember is basically Palmer realizing his dream of like, I'm taking us to the moon, and then it's just like, he gets his head cut off. It's like, just that. So I remember when I was like, oh dang, I'm gonna have to make that, and how I managed to do it was great, and it was just like the performance was just there. Boom, his dream was gone. And then the payoff, the last line at the end, Red, I think I dropped my snack. Just like, oh. And it was just like, oh yeah, classic Red with the final, the last laugh in most episodes. But yeah.
Yeah. The thing that I realized too is when I was writing that as well, I forgot, oh shit, Palmer's still alive in the other scene. What do we do? Wait, his head was there.
Just take it off.
What happened to his body? They'd be dumb enough that they'd just keep his body there and it would squirt blood sometimes.
They don't want to
fine.
pay out his
Yeah,
life
it's just
insurance
a hiding
policy.
yourself.
Fuck
I
that.
know.
Exactly.
He looks great.
Exactly.
You're right. Everyone is part of the conspiracy.
Oh my god. I love I completely forgot. Oh yeah, that's right. We did make him a flat earther.
Yup.
I forget, man. That was just during the time when me and my buddies were like, let's just watch some alien documentaries, and then, wow, flat Earth is a thing. Well, he's from space. Yeah, I guess he'd be ignorant enough to believe that the Earth isn't round like scientists. Or wait, fuck, take two. That he's not. Whatever. He's a flat earther.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You're a fucking idiot, dude. How are you like the head of the space department? Because the curse of wealth is stupidity."
How about you, Ant? What was your favorite moment?
I'm gonna say there are two moments.
Okay.
Spoiler alert: when Aerith dies is probably my favorite moment of that entire scene, because the lead up, the music, I kept butting heads back and forth with Cliff, being like, no, the music needs to be this, and Cliff was like, let me try something else, and he did. And I was like, fuck, that's really good. Okay, yeah, you're right. Good, let's do it. And just I realized, like, what scene do I want to make this? What made me fucking ball out? And I remembered the ending of Logan. That when, oh my god, when just
the flowers.
The flowers. But for those of you who are unaware, in Logan, like, Logan dies. Spoiler alert. But it's a comic book movie, so he's not really dead. And he's buried, and he has a cross. And then X-23 comes up, takes the cross, turns it around as an X, and puts it back down. I didn't get it until the camera started panning in. I was like, no!
Visual representation.
And that got me. That ended me. And I wanted to have that same moment. Yes.
That music was great.
I wanted that same moment.
And
yes. That same moment.
Yeah, I was so glad I was able to get it, like, make it turn out okay. That was powerful moment.
Oh my god, no. You did a fucking fantastic job. And just the whole everyone did like a great job with it.
Definitely the good way to do it. And it's just like, you know, Cloud said the Northern Crater, that's where we're going. Just like boom. That's it.
Like that's the mission, that's going, and then the music goes, and then no music, no like barely any sound effects or anything like that, just linger, because I didn't want something to hit super hard and then done.
I wanted it to hit,
and then just stay for a while, then hit you again.
Yeah, man.
And
it was a solid moment, like.
But as solid as that was, I think my absolute favorite moment was Tankceratops and the vehicular sores.
Gondola Dawn!
Gondola Dawn is the best
Anna and I
fucking
remember that time, it was just like,
ever.
Hey, have you got like any dinosaur car names? It's like, yeah, and we came up with like Tractodactyl.
Why wouldn't I?
Tractordactyl, Velocicopter.
Tractordactyl, yeah.
And it was just like,
Velocicopter.
let's just be as 80s as possible. And honestly, for the most part with FF7MA, I'm pretty much by the book. So I'm like, okay, I think I can make this work really good and like do it by the numbers, bish bash bosh, done. With the Tankceratops moment, I'm thinking, oh yes, this often doesn't happen. And I'm pretty sure Kaiser feels the same way when it comes to editing. There are those moments you're thinking, I am gonna go all ham on this. And it's just like, we need a vibe. We need a vibe here, and I know exactly what to do. It needs to be 80s as fuck. And it just...
And I want to give a big old shout out to Little V Mills on the instrumentals, and Rob of Psycho Stick, who are also streaming and playing music and all that stuff and raising money for COVID research as well. And they fucking killed it, as well as, oh my god, like NKH on who did the art for Tankceratops. He also does a bunch of JoJo art as well. Check him out, he's fantastic. Just, oh my god, you can find all their information in the description of episode 28. But, oh my god, that was, honestly, the series could have ended there and I would have been happy. Like, that was a lead up to everything I just wanted to do, and like, it had everything. And for those of you who are on the Patreon as well, who have listened to the songs as the instrumentals are also available for our patrons for $5, I believe. So like, if you want to download it, listen to it, put it as like a cell phone ring. If you want to hear Rob from Psycho Stick yell out Tankceratops and the Vehiculosaurus, then you totally can.
As a special thank you to all those who have made all these productions that we've been making possible.
What's chat saying and comments saying?
I was getting a lot of Tank Ceratops out there. One drugs please were a few. A special all of the Bahamets was running through there.
Oh my god. Okay, so I wanna say this. Grant he's the one who came up with the Bahamets joke. Without him, that would not have happened.
Yeah, Grant was good at coming up with a bunch of the names for those. Some Tsunami.
Oh yes, that's right. The other eco-terrorist against Shinra.
Earthquake, mudslide.
I just love the whole thing.
Mudslide.
It's like we just went, oh no, Cloud, Tsunami's playing fair. We got what we wanted. It's just like, just screw him. And then just the payoff and later on is just Priscilla, feck him. Just like Eileen Monty did it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
so we're in a jam.
just that payoff from season 3. Just like, yeah, that was good.
Oh my god. I'm really excited, and there's a lot of other things that happen in the movie that I'm pretty excited about, and it's gonna be a good old time. The plan is to have it out by the end of this year, but I mean, a lot of unpredictability.
A lot of things happen. A lot of things have happened.
Yeah.
And things will continue to happen. Before we wrap this Mamma Jamma up, you discussed your favorite you said your favorite Final Fantasy is 10? Ant?
I would, in terms of aesthetic and battle system and like characters, looks and stuff like that, 10 is my favorite. If you ask me what the story is, I couldn't fucking tell you.
That's fair.
But I think with Remake, 7 honestly has kind of become my favorite now. Mainly because of like the message of like, wow, this is a very now time. It was a very now time back in the 80s and the 90s, and it's still kind of is.
Very relevant.
It still very much is.
Yeah.
Still more so, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it also helps they were able to rewrite a bunch of it to keep it relevant, but...
yeah, fair enough.
Moscow, you mentioned you're not much of a Final Fantasy player, but do you have a favorite
I've been able
Final
to
Fantasy?
see. I mean, honestly, it probably would have to be 7 from the fact that I've just gotten ingratiated with the story and stuff like that, but from what I've seen, I remember my brother really liking 10 too. Just from a lot... no, 10
10-2 or 10 also?
X2. Not like 10 as well. But fair enough for clarifying. But
Okay.
I remember seeing a lot of that because he's a 3D graphics guy, and he was like, dude, the motion capture on all these cutscenes is amazing. I mean, for circa 2003, that was very
would make
true.
sense.
And so it was like that's something that resonated in our household at the time. But honestly, with 7, it's just the journey has been around for so long. In fact, I was talking with Ant like a while back, saying like, there's got to be some way that we can commemorate this, like a memento. So we were like discussing ways and like, because this has been around. We've been doing this for like 5 years, and that's like Final Fantasy VII's been around for that long in terms of Machinabridged. So it's got to be some way of like immortalizing it for us. So yeah, we've got plans.
Mm-hmm.
I was always going I've always felt like Final Fantasy is the Star Wars of video games.
Okay, so I literally this morning I saw a post that was like how to explain all Final Fantasies. Over half of them was like Star Wars, but the Emperor dies and is replaced with the Joker, and then racism is bad. Like
6. I see.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Exactly.
Yes, because I'd compare it very much to that because I think quintessentially you could easily say that like that Aerith, the Aerith being killed scene is very much like the I am your father of video gamedom, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
I can't think of any other moment in gaming where it's like just a big a shock that everyone had.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to my personal favorite Final Fantasies, I know it gets like a lot of flack, and it's not my favorite, but one that will always hold a special place in my heart is 8 because it was the first one I ever beat. So that one's always going to hold a place for me. When it comes to like 10, like the PS2 era, I hold a very rough opinion that I actually enjoy 10-2 more than 10. I like I like the system better. I like being able to swap between jobs, and if I'm gonna be honest, 1,000 words is a fucking banger.
Oh yeah, is it that one where it's like, what about do to you?
No. This is the one in that they sing in the Thunder Plane. I know that you're hiding things, using gentle words to shelter me. That song fucking kicks me. But if I had to choose an absolute favorite, it might be 9.
9 was super good. I think 9 is like, if you want to kind of figure out a back to basics kind of idea of what Final Fantasy was, 9 is a good way of doing that in modern era.
9 is very much a celebration of all things Final Fantasy. Like that it was up until that point.
Now here's the thing that I'm curious about. Do you think 9 is popular enough that it warrants its own remake?
I don't know. I think it's one of those underappreciated Final Fantasies, despite the fact that if you bring it up in a conversation, anybody who likes Final Fantasy will say, "Oh, I love 9," you know?
Right, they'll say they love 9, but you won't see 9 like be parodied in a Robot Chicken sketch.
Yeah. I don't think I can imagine 9 getting that sort of remake, because I think it plays so well as it is. That being said, I also thought 7 played very well as it was, but one that I could see doing very well with a remake, especially along the veins of what Final Fantasy VII Remake is doing, I think if you redid 8 with this kind of battle system, I think it would do amazing.
Yeah, no, I could see that actually, because as much as I hated 8, I did I gotta agree, because I mean 8 is built for battle. Like all the characters there are like, we're all training to be mercenaries, so of course we know how to fight.
Yeah, it's literally a school of children soldiers that you're living in, excuse me, an orphanage of children soldiers for the most part. But
it's Star Wars, but everyone's an orphan.
It's Star Wars, but everybody's a space gorilla orphan.
Yeah, main character might be dead. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Just don't focus on the story. That's another part that could be fixed in a remake.
Oh my god, oh boy. I mean, that's not the only thing they could fix in that game.
Yeah, if you can get rid of the drawing system, that'd be cool. But yeah, it was the first Final Fantasy that I remember to have like a real active time battle. Like if you attack with Squall's Gunblade and you press R1 at the right time, you do a little burst of extra damage.
Right, yeah.
Kind of a la Super Mario RPG.
And I think it was weird because like when I played 7, 9, 10, then 8, and 8 was just so different of like, what is this extra bullshit that I need to do? I'm not used to it.
I liked the world of 8. And I liked that you could, like, eventually, you literally travel around in your base. Like, you fly around the world in your fucking school.
Okay, you know what? That is probably, like, the coolest way to travel anywhere. Because, like, as you're moving, it's like a cruise ship, but for the land.
And you could, like, just pop out, like, you know what? I'm done walking around for a second. I just want to go inside because I want to play somebody in Triple Triad, which is, like, I actually enjoyed that card game. And they ported it into, I think they put it into 9, and they also put it
There was a card game in 9.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the same card game, too, but I'm not positive. But they also, because it was so popular, they put it into 14, which, if 9 is a celebration of all things that Final Fantasy was up until that point, 14 is just a celebration of Final Fantasy in general as an MMO. It is it is awesome, and I'm really happy that my guild and I are hanging out on there pretty much every Friday, except for when Final Fantasy VII Remake is taking over the docket. Cough.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on 14, because like almost every update I see is like, here, remember this character, here's that. Remember this boss battle, here's that. Remember this class, here's that. So like they just keep rolling shit out, and like with 15 out, I'm very curious to see what Final Fantasy 16 is going to be about.
Oh man, I don't know if we'll get Final Fantasy 16 for a hot minute, or if we're just going to be getting these FF7 remakes and Nomura's next Kingdom Hearts-ish project project, whatever it is, with not Final Fantasy 13 versus guy.
Yeah.
Verum
See,
Rex,
now
that
Kingdom
one.
Hearts. Yeah. Oh yeah, that dude. I'm very interested to see where the Kingdom Hearts story goes because it's just dumb bullshit, and I love it. For the longest time, as I was like, Final Fantasy Remake isn't going to be coming out. Watch, they're going to announce it, and it's going to be like secret DLC. Okay, no, I got it. Sora, not Final Fantasy. Fuck, what am I saying? Kingdom Hearts, the new one. All Disney's gone. Instead, it's Sora going to different Square Enix worlds. So Sora's going to be fighting with 2B. Sora's going to go into the Bouncer universe and be like,
Oh
hey,
yeah,
it's my brother.
he finally goes to Dog Street.
Yeah. Oh my God. That'd be. Ugh. See, I want that. I want I want Square Enix to just be in there, and then the Avengers show up, and then that one game that they did, the Quiet Man or whatever.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
No.
I mean that's how Sora could save that game, I guess.
Agent 47 shows up for a little bit, then goes away because they didn't want him.
Murders Goofy, just snapped his neck.
This would be a good place to find some ingredients.
Oh my God.
I know, that's goose
A
liver.
talking rat told me about that.
But yeah, the future of Final Fantasy is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to getting a look at that script for Final Fantasy VII Machinabridged, the movie, the finale, the epic battle between Cloud and Sephiroth. Sephdog.
Yeah. Sephdog.
Before we go, you guys got anything going on that you want to shout out to anybody? Anything you want to plug?
For me, I guess, I don't know if people notice or not or follow me on social media, but I now have a brand new audio interface, a solid-state Logic 2, which is different from a Scarlett, so if I sound different to you guys, that is why.
It's coming in
And
very clear.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very happy with the purchase. It sounds a lot more full, I guess, in terms
If
of
they
it.
were to follow you on social media, where might they find you?
They would find me at AntfishVO on my Twitter, and then on Facebook I'm Anthony Sardinha VO. That's my voice acting page, and I don't stream on Twitch or anything like that. So those are really the only two. But make sure to check out if you are curious about Final Fantasy VII Machinabridged. Check that out. And if you are interested in Final Fantasy VII Remake, but unfortunately cannot play it, you can also watch Final Grantasy on TFS Gaming, where Grant is going to be playing the Final Fantasy Remake. And of course, you mentioned that you are also streaming Final Fantasy VII as well.
I am. In fact, I'm going to be streaming some more probably in a couple hours after I finish off the other half of my workout and get some dinner in me.
Nice.
How about you, Moscow? I know you stream on here. I've seen you stream in some
yeah, just like GT cars and
stock
stuff
car
like that.
racing games,
Calling
stuff
back
like
to
that.
my like early 2000s hobby, like before abridging, and even before anime voice acting and fan dubs and stuff. So really getting back in on that, and you know, just kind of the renaissance of sim racing at the moment, since like, you know, we're all locked down, so we can't do the tracks and stuff. But I'm still doing like all my like what ifs and stuff like that and discussions. Just really like kind of that. Masako X everywhere. If not, if some bastard's taken my screen name, Masako Extreme, because it's extreme. I'm a 90s kid.
I'm pretty sure on.
Oh yeah, no, that was one of the few places where I was able to actually get it.
TFS.
But I couldn't get actually Masako X. I had to be _TFS. So it was like, yeah, somebody took it.
So make sure to check all that out. And yeah, Final Fantasy VII, the remake, solid, definitely the best remake of the year so far, I'd say. Even though I did enjoy Resident Evil 3, I'd say that this is definitely the better remake. Solid games. Thank you guys so much for joining me here
Pleasure
today.
to be here.
Very nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. Likewise. Thanks for having us.
And of course, thanks to all of you for tuning into the Talkcast Podshow. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody. I love that Barrett sings that. Oh my god.
I'm glad. Yes. Oh my God.